Da 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 da. You never know what it's gonna be when I come on the show. Now that I'm doing the little singy whoopie doo to start. Da 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 da. I don't have to worry about copyright music because that all came out of me, my spirit, and it is just fun. It's just fun. So hey. Welcome you all to the beBOLDyou podcast. And we are here today with my good friend who I have met on Clubhouse, RJ Jackson, the courage giver. Girl, this girl, meeting you has been so amazing and so wonderful. Okay, but just in case somebody's listening to the beBOLDyou podcast for the first time, they might want to know who I am. My name is Cyndilu. I'm the creator and founder of the beBOLDyou personality expression system, which helps us look at who we are in the world, who we show up as, and who we want to become. Because sometimes we don't show up as the person we think we're showing up as, and we find out as other people reflect back to us that we're showing up differently than we thought we were. And we also have times in my life anyway, I have become the description of an assessment that I took. So if the assessment said I'm supposed to be fun and spontaneous and all of that, then I wouldn't do anything that was organized. And that wasn't totally me. Like, right? I have a piece of all of the personalities within me. So this expression system takes into account that we are part of all of them. And we've had experiences, education, the way we process is different. The way that we interact with others is different, and we take all of that into account. The way we like to be loved, the way we like to be cared for, the way we learn, all of that becomes who we are. So there are, in my opinion, as many personalities on this planet as there are people. There are no two exactly alike. Even if you grew up in the same family, you're identical twins, you're going to have different experiences in your life. You're going to see things from a different point of view, and you're going to interpret it in your mind differently. So that is what the Becoming BOLDyou personality expression system is. It's about learning to express ourselves in a way that aligns how we want to show up in the world with how others are seeing us in the world. Yay! So that's me. And my guest today is RJ Jackson, the courage giver, and I'm going to let her introduce herself a little bit more. So please do tell us a little more about you.
Oh, thank you, Cyndilu. Thank you so much for having me. And as you shared, we were really blessed to connect on Clubhouse and to do something that most people don't do. And that is to go beyond the Clubhouse scene so that we can intimately connect and get to know each other. And so let me just tell you a little bit about me, and I can show you probably better than I can tell you. But I am, as Cyndilu said, RJ Jackson, the courage giver, and I help you fine-tune your focus so that you can live the life you desire and deserve. That's successfully, that's satisfying, and most of all, significant, so that you know that you matter. And so wherever you're stuck, what I do is get the glue off your shoe, so you can show up.
I love that. Get the glue off your shoe. That is so brilliant. I absolutely adore that.
Thank you.
Yeah, because sometimes you feel like you're getting stuck, right? Like you just can't quite get moving.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the first thing that I do with everyone that comes on the show, and almost everyone, I can't say I've done it with everyone, so almost everyone who comes on the show, is I ask these 10 questions. Whether it's the first thing or the last thing I do, depends on which episode you're listening to. But right now, I'm doing it as first. So we're going to answer 10 quick questions. They're supposed to be super simple. Some people say they're difficult, but they're supposed to be super simple. Anyway, the first one is, what is your favorite color?
Oh, well, most people would look at me and say, I know, it's red. Because whenever you see me, you see red, but blue is actually my favorite color.
Awesome.
Remember earlier you talked about how people see you and how you show up? There you go.
Yeah, so you're showing up with the red. Tell me a little more about why you're showing up with the red. I'm going to intermingle some questions in here because I just want to know.
Cool. No problem. So red, I'm always one that does research to see what things mean. And red is significant for love, for passion, and for courage. And I am the courage giver. So it became a part of my branding. Now, don't get it twisted. I love red. I love red. Almost everything I own is practically red, except for my car. It's blue. Go figure, right? I love red. I appreciate it. It's a big part of me. But at the end of the day, when we go deep, and this is what we should do with people, go deep, be intimate, be intentional, you get to learn that my favorite color is blue.
Nice.
And the
What
only
shade?
way to learn that, Cyndilu, is do what you just did. In relationships, we got to ask questions.
Yeah. So what shade of blue?
So it's in between baby blue and midnight blue. I don't have an exact shade,
Okay.
but it's like that in between. It's not that too dark where it almost looks like black, or too light where it's like no power at
Yeah.
all, like baby powder. Yeah, not that one.
No, mine's periwinkle blue. So
Periwinkle. Okay.
you'll look
Yeah,
that up. It might be close. Yeah. All right. Are you more introverted or extroverted?
I am right in the middle with a bow.
Right in the
So
middle with a bow. I love
right in the
it.
middle with a bow. So I can be introverted because I'm such a public figure that I like to withdraw in and just spend time with me and be in the background. You mostly find me in the background serving, and that's my introvert. But I'm a big servant-hearted person. So I tell people I'm the queen of volunteering. So I volunteer for PD, I volunteer for the hospital, I volunteer for the airport. And I don't mean just occasionally, I mean consistently. But that's my way of being in. Extrovert is my opportunity to get out and share with the world their awesomeness and their greatness. So I've been on stages of 8,000 people. I've been on the mission field with 300,000 people in front of me. And I just love showing up for that because I love reminding people who they are and what's inside of them.
Nice. Yeah. I love it.
Put me in the middle with a bow.
What quote or phrase encourages you the most?
I have several, but I'm going to pick this one and hopefully it will encourage other people as well. It's a quote that I quote and I say, and it's a part of my DNA, which says, you don't have to live where you're dying, and you don't have to die where you're living.
Oh, wow. Wow. I love
Life
it.
happens. It hurts sometimes. But you don't have to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was sitting in the hospital getting my pacemaker, I can kind of relate. It's like, oh, okay, my life just changed completely. So now what? What can I do? What can I still do? I didn't have to die where I was living. Yeah. So I love that phrase. Okay. What energizes you the most?
I would say the Energizing Bunny, but I can't find him. So
he's living inside of me.
Oh, that's where I'm gonna have to come to New Zealand. Sacramento. What energizes me the most is people who are authentic and I get to hang out with them. Like just seeing people be themselves, accept who they are, and just being able to hang out with them, love on them, have them love on me. People energize me, especially when they're being real.
So you gotta love Clubhouse then, because you can't really be fake on there for long.
Not for long.
Without being found out.
Yep. And I say that's true everywhere. I don't care how many pictures you post. The real you gonna show up. Keep talking.
If you keep talking, it will show up.
Keep talking.
So true. Have you had a favorite age?
Right now.
Yes.
My favorite age has been where I am at the moment, whether I was 22, 42, 52, 62, wherever I am right now is my favorite.
I'm not getting to 62 yet, but I will be 59 this year very soon. Very soon.
Awesome.
Yeah. So are you a book reader or song listener? What's your primary?
Whew, put a bow on me and put me in the middle like a pickle, please.
All right, so then give us one book that everybody should read.
Now you're making it even tougher.
I know, right?
I read more than 100 books a year. So
okay, what are you reading now then?
Right now I'm reading You're a Badass Every Day. But I read it every day and have for the last 2 years. Like literally every single day I read that book.
Yeah, that's Jen. Is that Jen's book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that in addition to my word, of course. So you're going to read something, start your day reading the word. And if it's challenging for you to read the word, start in Proverbs. Just some nuggets for the day, how we can be intentional with our day.
Nice. Do you have a favorite artist for singing or music?
I don't. I love to sing. I love to make a joyful noise, but I don't know the people's names and things like that. Like who wrote that song? I don't know. Who's singing that song? I don't know. I'm singing it.
I don't know. And I probably only know so many words, unless it's written down in front of me and I can read them.
Right. But I love to sing. I love worship. I love to make a joyful noise. I love singing. Matter of fact, I love playing this game that I make up and play with people when they're like in my workshops or whatever. I throw a word out and the first person that can come up with a song with that word in it, we just have fun with it. So, yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah. What's the most exotic place you've ever been?
Let's see. Exotic. Okay. I've worked for a cruise company, so I've been to a lot of islands. Exotic. That's pretty a tough one. I'm not sure I can remember which one was the most exotic. What's the next question? Maybe I'll come back to it. Give my brain a second to come to me.
So you worked let's just talk about the cruise line. So you worked for a cruise line. What did you do on the cruise line?
I was their onboard lecturer. So I hosted workshops and seminars for those people who wanted to continue their learning experience, even while on the cruise. And amazing people came. And the room was typically full most of the time.
What were you teaching?
Different things. I would teach time management, communication, relationships, anything dealing with personal development and being your best self. And people would come. Some people would come to the same, because I do it like 3-4 times a week. Some people would come like 2 or 3 times.
Oh my gosh. Okay, who knew? That might be on my list of jobs to get.
It's fun.
That could be just a blast, teaching on a cruise ship. Come on. I think that's your most exotic place because that's just crazy.
Yeah.
Do you create to live or live to create?
Excuse me. Do I live to create to live, or live to create? That's a great question. Wow, these are powerful questions. Everything I do, I want to say I start with live first. So I live to create is going to be my answer.
Nice.
I'll take door number 2, Cyndilu.
Yeah, of course. You can do anything you want.
You're the best.
Alrighty. So, who has been your greatest influence? They can be dead or alive.
I always say, God created me. William and Rhoda Jackson conceived me. Sister Marge saw potential in me. And all I want you to do is see your reflection in me.
Nice.
So my greatest influence, with an S, has been first and foremost my parents.
Mm-hmm.
Cyndilu, I've had the best parents in the world that anyone could never ask for, because we didn't ask for them, did we?
No.
But I was so blessed with the best. My mom showed me how to live and give my life away. My dad showed me how to live, give, and receive as well. The best of the best.
Nice.
But had it not been for Sister Marge seeing potential in me, I probably wouldn't be here right now.
Girl.
She was a 9th grade teacher.
Those teachers, man, they have more influence than so many people realize.
Yep. I think then they realize, the teacher themselves.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yep.
So what one word describes you best?
Genuine.
Oh, I love it. And I would agree. Just from what little I've met you and been with you and connected with you, I would definitely agree.
Thank you. It takes one to know one.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
All righty, let me take that down. So tell me a little bit more about thecouragegiver.com.
Couragegiver.com is the official home online for the services that I provide to women in particularly who have decided they don't have to live where they're dying. They just don't know the tools necessary to get up from where they are and get to where they're going. So it is the connecting place so that you and I can meet on purpose and intentionally create a plan for your success, your satisfaction, and for you to leave legacy by being significant in the world.
Come on. Wow. All right. I want to talk a little more about what you do with people, how you help them to shift. So one of the things that you list is fine-tune your focus.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean to you?
That's a loaded question. And thank you so much.
Yeah, it is.
It is. And thank you so much for asking it. Because for so many people, life really is out of focus. We have forgotten because of social media, the peer pressure of buying and spending what's most important. Fine-tuning your focus is realizing what really is most important in life. In the season that you're in. And you and I were having a conversation earlier about seasons. So here's the key. You're in one season, I'm in another, but yet we're here together on this podcast. And the same is so true for people. We can still be together and be in different seasons. And so what I help people do is realize, what season are you in? Do you need a heater? Or do you need to have a fan on right now? Because if you need to have a fan on and you got a heater, something's out of balance right there. And so the result of that is you're miserable and you're making people around you miserable too. So what I do, Cyndilu, is help people live their best life so they can give it away to other people who need them to survive. You know why? Because there's something inside of each one of us that God gave us that was created for us to connect with someone else, to give them hope and possibility.
I love it. So tell me about the excuses people come up with. Like, how many excuses do people come up with?
Kelvin, take me away. So many excuses that we forget why we're not doing what we said we were going to do because we got so many excuses. And then we label them as, no, they're just reasons. No.
Come on.
They are the things that keep you from being successful. So I like to say where we are right now, including me, is because of the decisions we made or the excuses we made yesterday. You know, well, I can't do that. Well, I don't have anybody supporting me. Well, I need some more money. Well, I'm afraid to do live videos. Excuses. Because everything we need to succeed, like Prego Soup Girl, is in there. It's in there. We got it. We just have to eliminate the excuses, because if we don't, Cindy Lou, what happens is, if we have excuses, we have eliminated our success. And if we're going to have success, we must eliminate those lame excuses we give, first of all, to ourselves, and then try to convince other people to believe them too. Here's my 2-word counseling session for it. Stop that.
I love it. Stop that. Just stop it.
Just stop it right now.
Well, and I'm going to bring me up here for a minute. So here's the thing, right? We don't realize that the decisions that we make really do make or break where we go.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is as easy as making a new decision
Mm-hmm.
to stop that, to shift into a new place.
Yep. And when we don't make a decision, we are really still making a decision.
Oh, please. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. We're making the decision to let it stay the same.
Yep. Go figure. Like, if you want something different, do something different. Stop saying, I don't know. Yes, you do. You're just afraid to do what you know. I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh. Or you're afraid to embrace the dream that is in you, that is bigger than yourself, and that others have at some point told you, you can't do that. Stop dreaming so big. Why are you such a dream? You know, you're delusional, right? Like they're saying, there's this grandiose. It's another one. Like those words, they will keep you stuck. They will keep your feet glued down if you focus on what others have said about you in that area.
You are talking, and I hope somebody is listening, because you are telling the truth on top of the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think what I love doing the most on Clubhouse is getting people unstuck. Taking the ladies. I had a lady came in this morning and she was just like, I just don't know how to do this. And I want to. She wanted to. She was at least there asking the questions, right? That was step one for her. And then I took her through and just pointed, tap on this one, do this. Like there are people like me that will stop long enough from our own goals and our own whatever to stand alongside you and help you figure it out. You got to find those people. You're muted, darling.
And
oops, it's muting you again.
I don't know.
So I'm going to say refresh your screen. Do you know how to refresh?
Yes, I do. I don't know if I'm going to lose you, but
refresh. You'll come back. You'll come back. While she refreshes, and she will be right back, and I will bring her back on. I just want to really encourage you in, connecting with people that are going to help you, that are going to assist you, that are going to be in your life in ways that you need them in your life. Definitely connect with others and know that you can't do this alone. Over to you, Miss RJ.
Cindy Lou, what you're saying is so important. The truth is, we weren't created to do it alone. And we weren't created to do it for ourselves. So if we don't take time to help other people, we aren't living. We're just existing. If all of our goals are about us, we aren't living. We're just merely existing, because life is about purpose, and purpose is about people, and it's always way bigger than us. So you just said, I'm living life on purpose because I take time for other people. And that's what it's about. And thank you for leading the way.
Yeah. Taking that time, and they're just like, oh my gosh, you have helped me so much. And it literally took 10 minutes of my time to like get this woman from feeling like I really see the value of this, but I can't figure out how to do it, to, oh my gosh, I can do this. 10 minutes.
10 minutes to change your life.
Yeah. Got a couple of people here watching. Cassandra, hello. Flora,
Hey, Cassandra.
hello. Yes.
Flora, hello, beautiful. Both of you beautiful ladies. Welcome.
Both,
So glad you're here.
both amazing ladies. Absolutely amazing. All right. So let's see what Cassandra's saying here. She says, yes, you are so right, RJ, about people and purpose. Wow. Yeah. Come on. Come on.
Girl, don't be calling me up to the pulpit right now.
Right. I know, right? We can go there. We could go there. We could do that. So okay. So along the way, they figured out they have their purpose. They want to do it. And then something happens in their life and boom, you're faced with some adversity. How do you overcome that? Like, what have you overcome in your life? Or what are you overcoming? I should probably rephrase that.
I thought you were just telling my story right now. Like, yes, girl, that's it. Like, you're living life, you're living the dream, you're helping people, you're doing life on purpose, and then boom, his front of his car meets your steering wheel, crushing and trapping your passengers in the vehicle, sending you and your passengers to trauma hospital, leaving you and all of your passengers recovering from brain injuries. Yes, girl, I thought you was telling my story, because that's it right there. And so you say, how do you overcome? Like, how do you get over that? Do you get over it? I don't know, because for me, life has changed forever. But here's the key. I get through it. Because as I shared earlier, I don't have to live where I'm dying. And I don't have to die where I'm living. It's all about decisions. Making that decision that wherever you are, if it's not where you want to be, change your address. Move. Right? Start packing up. I don't care how much you got to pack up. Start packing up and move. And then, listen, if you can't do this thing by yourself, which you're not supposed to, don't worry about it. Ask for help. This is how you get through. You gotta know that you cannot do this thing alone. So here's my 2-word counseling for that. Those of you who are trying to do it by yourself. What is it, Cyndilu? What did I say?
Stop that.
Stop that.
Just stop that.
Stop it right now. Stop.
So if somebody's reaching out for the first time to ask for help, what move? Might have to leave some stuff. Oh, yeah. She just said that. Might have to leave some stuff behind. With head injuries. Okay, so we've both had head injuries. Mine was nothing compared to yours if we did comparison. However, it changed my life forever, right? Yeah. It still changed my life forever. It does not matter what the situation was that you're in or you're living through. If you have had an event happen in your life that has shifted where you thought you were going and you're now pivoting to a new place, how do you ask somebody for help?
Courageously. We have to put our pride aside. We have to shovel some dirt over our shame. And we have to realize that we are no different from anyone else. We all have a journey. We all have a story. We all have had trauma in some form or fashion. We've all fallen down. We've all learned some lessons. In order to get to the next step, you have to be courageous enough to reach out and touch and ask somebody to touch you. When I was growing up, my cousins called me reach out and touch. And I had one cousin, when he called me, he would say, hey, Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can. And I know you can. Yes, you can. Go do it, girl. Come here. He would say all that when he was calling my name. But how prophetic.
Wow. Yeah, I was going to say that was prophetic for your life.
Yes.
Like, we have
Whether
no
he knew
idea.
it or not.
Mm-mm. Does he know even to this day that he's prophetic? Like, does he know now?
He has passed away. So
Okay.
at a very early age in our upbringing, he passed away. So he's probably looking down, smiling, saying, "That's my reach out and touch."
That's my reach out and touch. Oh my gosh.
But
How lovely.
because this is about the people who are listening, I want you to reach out and touch. If you reach out, we promise to touch.
Yeah.
You don't even have to meet us halfway. You just have to be willing to ask for help. And listen, if the person who reaches out really isn't ready, don't take it personal. That's not about you. They're just not ready. But just take it like this. Fill in the gap like this. They tried, but they're not ready. They're not the person. And trust me, if they're not the person, you don't want them to touch you too deep. They might just cut you. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Cyndilu, I forgot to tell you, I didn't take my medication today. So, yeah. Oh, wait. I ain't got no medication. We good. This is me. This just genuinely me. This is how I roll. I meet you where you are. I give you some form of truth. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to say, look at me, I'm better than you, girl. I'm probably in worse shape than you are right now. Trust me on that one. But I'm here on purpose. And you are my purpose. So thank you, Cyndilu, for having me.
Oh, girl, I could talk to you all day long. How much longer do you want to talk? Because we can just keep going. Because I can just ask you questions after questions. Or we can ask you a couple more. All right. So, did you do coaching before your accident, or is this only after?
So prior to my accident, I literally traveled the world, land and sea, as an international, not by way of web, by internet, but my feet on the ground in various countries. I've spoken in at least 10 countries. And as a result of speaking, I also picked up coaching clients. So yes, prior to my accident, I did coaching. And after my accident, I didn't want to do coaching.
that was going to be my next question. So
I didn't do it.
Yeah. Didn't want to do it, but here you are doing it anyway.
It's part of what I was born to do. So the reason why I say I didn't want to do it is because you may understand this or you may not, but don't judge me. I lost a part of who I was and who I am with the brain injury. It took me months, almost a year or more, to really realize who I was. Not whose I was, but who I was. I had forgotten all of the experience. Actually, you asked me a question when we first started about exotic places, and my brain wouldn't take me there. I was like, I don't know. And so I have since had to learn to let some things go. Like, yeah. I don't remember that, and I'm not going to stress myself out about it. I'm a different person now. And so I had to learn, even with speaking, even though I'm a speaker, that's what I was born, created, and put on this earth to do, that coaching is a part of what I need to be doing too. So I had to embrace that.
How difficult was that for you?
It wasn't difficult to embrace the coaching. It was challenging to let go for a season of the speaking. However, God has such a sense of humor that it wasn't that difficult to let it go because I couldn't talk.
Right?
So he fixed it.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
The reason I'm finding that interesting right now is that with my head injury, I lost the ability to process things, like to say, this is step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3. Now, you know what I do on Clubhouse, right? I teach people the how-tos, like touch this button, then do this, then do this, then do this. So I'm actually I'm now doing what was taken away from me, and you're now doing again what was taken away from you.
Yes.
If it's truly what we're born to do, I don't think it can be taken away from us.
No. Seasons change. That's it. The seasons change. But you better believe right after winter, spring is still going to show up. I don't care if you rip it off the calendar, rip off March, April, May, spring's still going to show up, right? So at the end of the day, no matter what we've gone through, who we are, it's still going to show up. Still going to show up. So yes. I'm like you in that processing, which I still haven't even halfway mastered. So if people ask me to think and to put things together, I'm like, no, I'm not doing that because it's too much pressure. So when I'm on Clubhouse and people ask me questions about speaking, I'm like a deer in headlight. Like, I don't know, but I do know, but it's processing it to give it back to you is very challenging, right? So
yeah,
some people will hear me talk. Other people will tell them how amazing I am. But when they say, well, RJ, tell us, I'm like, I can't tell you. I don't know.
Can't tell you.
Whatever they say, listen to them.
Right? Because, for us to process it and then spit it back at you. When I'm really tired, I don't know if this happens for you. And I'm sure there's going to be some people that are going to be watching this that have had brain injuries and they're watching it now going, okay, somebody sent this to me because I've had a brain injury. Since we've both had one, let's just talk about that for a little bit because I think it will help someone. Yeah. When I get too tired at night and people start asking me questions, I just look at them and I go, you can ask me all the questions you want. You're not getting an answer right now. It's just not happening. Like, I cannot answer you. I hear the question. I understand the question, but I cannot process what I'm supposed to respond to you with.
Yeah.
Like, it's too much. My head hurts, literally.
It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the hardest things that I had to overcome, was being able to let go of that. Being okay with saying, I can't help you right now. I cannot answer your questions. I cannot do anything. I need to take a nap. Period.
Yeah. Along those lines, the hardest part for me, as you shared that, and thank you for sharing and being vulnerable to share it. The hardest part for me was people knew who I was. They knew the experiences I shared. They knew the places I had been. They knew the awards I had won. They knew all that. And so when they see me dressed up, they go, "You good, RJ?" And I'd be like, "No, you're just looking at the outside. Like, you have no idea what it's taken for me to even have this conversation with you." So the hardest part for me was letting go of people's expectation of me being who I was and having to just admit I'm not her. I can do some of the things she did, but this experience has changed my world. I am not her. So embrace who I am because I'm embracing who I am.
Maybe that's why I love Clubhouse so much, because nobody knows who I was. Like, I'm just coming on as me in the moment. It's all in the moment. It's all live. When it's done, it's done. There is none of the having to, like, I don't know. I think that's maybe why I like it.
It's lovable, that's for sure. Or should I say likable?
And the sense of humor. I live in a country where nobody knows any of the places I've been. Nobody knows anything that I've done. Nobody knows me. So my head injury happened after I moved to New Zealand. So I didn't have that same thing that you've gone through, but I've had something different, right? Like, I'm a full-time carer for my husband who has Parkinson's. And I had to basically say, I can't do this right now. I need extra help, and be okay with that. And we got through it, thankfully. And he's still in our home. That was my biggest thing, is I didn't want him, I had that fear of somebody's going to find out that my brain's not working right and they're going to take him away from me. and they put them in a home.
Wow.
And I had to like just say, I need to ask for help anyway.
Let's stay there for a second, because someone's listening need to ask for help anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who is listening right now, they have this fear that has paralyzed them and they can't move. They got that glue on their shoe and they stuck right where they are because fear has paralyzed them. And they need to know, number one, it's okay to ask for help. Number two, help is available for you. Somebody's waiting to have life in their life by helping you. And number three, you don't have to live where you're dying, and you don't have to die where you're living. Girl, man, ask for help.
Yeah. I don't know why we don't like to ask for help. I guess because we feel like we're going to be seen as weak, as not able to manage life on our own. It's ego. Edging God out. Edging others out.
You're right.
Yeah.
But thank you for being bold you and showing other people how to do the do. Okay? Just ask. Forget the fear. I'm going to kick fear to the curb right now, and I'm going to ask anyhow. Like, seriously, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah. Yeah. And the worst that could happen didn't happen for me. And even if the worst happened for somebody who asked for help, you still got help.
Yeah.
You're not stuck in that mud puddle, in that mire thing. Like, I remember one time when I was driving in Vermont on a back road to get to my new house. And I was told, just park the car and walk down. I'm like, no, I'm sure I can get through that little mud bog. Nope. Halfway through, down to the rocker panels into the mud. That car were going nowhere.
Oops.
Walked on home, had to still walk home. Walked on home.
Through the mud.
Through the mud. Called AAA. Got them to come take my car out. They were supposed to call me and tell me it was good. They didn't. So I walked back up the hill, found out, okay, it's out of there. Now what? And when I called them, actually I called them on the phone and said, is it out? Like, I don't know. I went up. And so, and they were like, yeah, it's out. And I'm like, is it good? Can I like drive it back down through? And they're like, yeah, you can. No, it was still the same mud bog. I did try another spot in the mud bog because I did know that, like, right, try to keep two wheels on a hard surface, whatever. Nope. Had to call AAA. I had to walk back home to call AAA again. Could you please take it out? Could you put it on the other side? But they couldn't. So I was like, all right, I will leave it there till tomorrow. So I left it there and I went and picked it up the next day. When I picked it up in the morning, when the ground was frozen. So sometimes you got to freeze that mud, right? That crap that other people have put in you, that's mud bog. You got to freeze that stuff and not try to go through it. Wait till it freezes. Stop it. Stop that, right? Stop that thinking in your brain. That's how you freeze it. Yeah. You stop that crazy thinking and then you let it sit and get nice and good, and you're not thinking that way anymore. And now you can go over it. Yeah. You go over it, not through it.
Yeah. Be still.
That was strong.
That's a good lesson.
I never thought of that lesson before. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was really good. That was really good.
Yeah. Go over it, not through it. There's certain mud crap in your life you don't have to go through. You can go over it. You just got to stop that.
Mm-hmm. Be still.
Yeah. Means you have to wait, right? I had to wait.
Mm-hmm.
Might not be so good at waiting.
Mm-hmm. Most of us aren't. But we learn lessons that help us to get better.
Yes, we do. Oh, RJ, thank you. Again, I could ask you a gazillion questions, and I think we'll just do a clubhouse room and do that.
Cool.
We will talk about it on there. We'll just talk about our lives and our journeying through and see what happens.
Love it.
If anybody wants to like be included in that, let us know. Reach out, ask, and we will send you a link to the room if you're not yet on Clubhouse and you want to get on there. We got some invites. We can manage to get you in. Mm-hmm. And it's open now to everybody. iOS, Android, y'all can come. So come on.
Come on.
Come on. One more thing from a listener. I was raised to be strong, self-sufficient, and taught that asking for help was a weakness. Mm-hmm. It's been tough to get past that. Yeah, right? Dr. Flora. This is a woman who helps people write their memoirs.
Mm-hmm. And Flora, let me share. We were all taught certain things in life. And I had this discussion yesterday with someone. Just to remember, our parents, our guardians, they taught us the best they could in that season with what, number one, they had and what we needed in order to survive. So you give credit where credit was due. You thank them for the foundation they laid, and you continue to educate yourself and position yourself to learn something new, to do something different and better so that you can leave legacy for the next generation as well. Because some of the things that my parents did, they don't apply today. It wouldn't work, right? There were times where the kids were told, run down to the corner and tell so-and-so to call so-and-so. We ain't got to do that no more. When you need help, you don't tell your kids, run down to the corner. And call. No, you just tell your 2-year-old, get on the cell phone and dial 911, right? Because most 2-year-olds have not. I'm just saying, none of my business, though. None of my business. But what I'm saying is things have changed, and we have got to be willing to change. And I'm not saying it's easy. It's challenging. It requires courage. But just keep putting one foot in front of the other. One foot in front of the other. Just one. How do you eat that elephant if you're not vegan like me? One bite at a time. Just one. If you're like, don't touch that bad boy. Leave him alone.
And if you're vegan, you eat a giant cauliflower, right? One flower at a time.
Some broccoli, some nuts or something, right? And yes, for those of you who are wondering, well, where do you get your protein from? Do you know that most plants have more protein than most meat? Okay, that's Cyndilu. No,
tell me about it, girl. Yeah, I live in a country where meat is primary, so. Mm-hmm.
And in some countries, you better not touch that animal. Like if a cow is crossing in front of you, you better kill yourself before you touch that cow.
Yeah,
they don't play that. But Flora, thank you so much for your courage to share your story and with somewhat of a question and allow us to speak life into your life today. Thank you for being here as well.
Yeah. And yeah, Flora will definitely send you that time. All right. RJ, thank you so much do you have any last words for my listeners?
Yeah, you're amazing. To all my sisters, listen, when I say she's amazing, starting with Cyndilu, listen, girl, I'm talking to you. You are amazing. Yes, I know you got a lot on your plate. You got a lot of decisions to make. Make one. Yeah. One decision at a time. If you want to eliminate your excuses so you can have success, live the life that's satisfying and significant, let's fine-tune your focus so you can see what matters most, so you can live that life you desire and deserve. It's been a pleasure to be here. Don't forget to connect with me. You can do so on any social media platform at The Courage Giver. You can follow me on Clubhouse at RJ Jackson. You can always just go to my website and connect with me there as well. Cyndilu, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. It has been an absolute joy. And for all of my listeners, you know how I end the show. Remember to live your life out loud and be bold you.